This is Live from the Table, the official podcast of the world-famous Comedy Cellar, available wherever you get your podcasts, and available on YouTube for a multimedia experience. Dan Naturman here. Once again, we are without Noam. He is away with his family on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, because I'll be away on cruise ships coming up in a couple of weeks. So he's not here. So we're going to once again not be overly political. And I'm with Periel.
Hi.
Aschenbrand.
Hello.
How do you do?
Nice to be here.
And we have a guest this time.
Yeah.
Ashley Austin Morris. She has 3 names.
Hi.
How do you do?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Ashley is, I'm using my best radio voice.
I know, it's really good.
Hey, everybody. We got
It's really good.
heavy traffic on the BQE. So Ashley Austin Morris is a new MC here.
Yes.
And very delightful on stage and off. She does a great
thanks.
job, and everybody seems to like her. And she's a little insecure.
I am very, yeah.
And she's worried she's going to get fired.
Yeah. Thank you.
You say you're still worried you're going to get fired.
No,
You've been
I don't.
here for
I'm not
like
worried.
30
I'm going to
years.
get. No, I'm not worried. I'm going to get fired. No, I'm not worried about that. But I do try to be mindful of always doing a good
Yes.
job, and so I don't do new material here
Yes.
very often. Like I'll slip one in.
Yeah. The weight of what this place is, I think, is always at the forefront, right? Like, it's
It is
amazing.
for me.
It's for me, but I just got here.
But it probably shouldn't be for me after all these years. That's a lot of it is just my own neuroticism. Michigas, and also because it's usually a big crowd. I always feel more comfortable doing new jokes in front of a smaller crowd, regardless of the venue.
Sure.
So other clubs, I won't mention them because I don't want to mention clubs that don't usually have big crowds. But there's other clubs that I prefer to do new material. By the way, I wanted to ask you
Yes.
up front why you have 3 names. Is that a SAG thing?
It is a SAG. No, at first it was Equity. So when I joined Equity, my first job out of college was I went to acting school, and the first job was this play, and you have to join the union. And there was already an Ashley Morris, and she's also in SAG. So Austin was in my email, because I was living in Austin when I got email. And so everybody always thought that was my name anyway. So that's what we did.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's not your name.
Well,
No.
it's a great name, you know.
I hope so. I don't know.
Are you from Austin?
I'm not. I'm from Texas, but we lived everywhere. But I lived in Austin in between high school and college.
Okay.
So, yeah, but my we're not from there, but my brother's there, though.
Ashley is a newish mother.
I am,
How new again?
5.5 months.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Yeah.
pretty new. Well, that's pretty new.
He's pretty new.
That's really new.
Yeah.
Now, did you think that you were just never going to be a mother, as you
I never wanted
because
to
you
be.
reveal on stage? So I'm not saying anything that you can
Right.
talk about that. You were
Right.
an older mother,
Sure.
as mothers go.
Yeah, I mean, for the South, yeah.
You should be a grandmother by now.
I should be a grandma, yeah.
But there's certainly there are grandparents your age, obviously. That
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't
typically
think
not
so.
in New York.
No, there's not. I'm not that old, Dan. I'm just like not in my 20s.
Maybe in like Yemen.
But do you mention how old you are on stage?
I
So I won't
ballpark it.
mention
I
it.
ballpark.
You ballpark.
You know what it is? I love getting older. I have no problem with getting older, but I need to buy my mom an apartment, okay? So I need every job I can get. So I don't want to say my age anymore. Like this just came to me like yesterday.
How is it being a mom and stand-up comic? Have you found that like
Periel, you're one.
I know, but one of the reasons why I don't go on the road is because I don't want to leave my kid.
Yeah.
And I opt to sort of produce
Yeah.
my own shows so
love
that
that.
I don't leave him.
I love that. I don't want to leave him either. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with like one-nighters or maybe 2.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially now.
but right now I don't want to. That's why the timing of getting to work at the Cellar is like, God, thank you, perfect, right? Because I want to be here anyway to work at the Cellar, and I don't want to be leaving my son right now. But it's amazing because I get to be with him during the day, and then his
Yeah.
dad's with him at night. Like, is that what you find? And my
Yeah.
mom helps me, so
Yeah.
Is your ambition to be a road comic? at some
No,
point?
that's never been my ambition. No.
That's not my ambition either.
Yeah. I don't
I mean,
like,
it's my ambition to no longer do it.
yeah. I mean, listen,
Well,
but I also said I didn't want to be married and I didn't want to be a mother, and I love both those things. So maybe I'm going to be a road comic and be like, this is the greatest life ever.
Well,
I'll be at
maybe.
Ha-Ha's next
I don't.
week.
Does
You know
anyone?
what I mean?
Hilarious.
Well, maybe. I don't know anybody that enjoys it, but
Yeah.
especially as you get older. But
Yeah.
I guess for younger folks, it
Yeah,
may
but
be
going on
okay.
tour is fun,
Yeah.
right?
Like Sam Morril. I mean, he has a
Well, but
bus. Like, that's amazing.
You know, he's at a different level.
He's at a huge level.
You know,
Yeah.
and I still wouldn't like it, by the way, if I were at that level.
I would
wouldn't?
like
No,
to.
I
I
wouldn't.
think that would be fun. I want to
I would
experience.
do like a few shows here and there just to make enough money, and then
Yeah.
and not. I don't like it at all.
If it were that level, I would like to experience.
Well, that would be help. It would help.
Yeah.
But-
But not at my level. I
but-
don't want to do it.
But the first time I remember going on the road years ago, and I said, "This can't be right. This,
I know.
this can't be what stand-up is. This is horrific." I thought it was like, if you performed in New York,
Yeah.
that you'd make a lot of money because it's New York.
Right.
And then I got into it and I realized, you can't make any money in New York. This shit don't pay. So you have to leave New York to make any money. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, this can't, no.
I know.
And I'm like, well, maybe I'll get a TV show and
Yeah, that's all-
and
yeah.
then this will be all behind me. But
Yeah.
anyway, the best laid plans. But so-
Wait, I have a question for you. When you open for like Louis in Chicago or something, like that's not fun. Like
That seems
you know-
amazing.
Yeah, that seems
that's a relatively fun,
okay. Okay.
but still not fun.
Really?
I don't like. I get stage fright.
Me too.
You know.
So do
and,
I.
I mean, this is the worst
Yeah.
job for me. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But
I think it's the only job for you. I think actually.
well,
What else?
I mean,
what else
I
did you
mean,
do?
I have a certain aptitude for it, I suppose. But so in that sense, it's for me. But I just get so anxious.
Me too.
But wait a second. What if you
And,
were
the
like
good news is when the one good thing is that when the show's over, the relief
It's so great.
is so great.
Yeah.
So I guess in that sense, I guess it's like working out. It's unpleasant,
Yeah.
but at least and you're sitting in the steam room when it's done.
Yeah.
You get those endorphins.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing.
But what if you were like a surgeon and you got really nervous before you performed
suck.
surgery?
I don't think I would.
Well, I mean,
Ooh, do you think they do that? I never even
maybe.
thought about
I mean,
that.
it just occurred to me right now. It's totally possible that you'd be like a brain surgeon.
No,
and you
because-
get super nervous.
That,
because-
I never thought of. I'm never gonna have surgery. I never thought.
No, because public speaking is a primal human fear, and
Yeah.
surgery is not.
Well, so it's like maybe killing somebody by
Yeah, it's a lot of
accident.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever.
Well,
want
I don't
that.
know. Well, you're right.
But I think
then
a
I
lot of
wouldn't,
surgeons have a God complex.
I mean, maybe, but like you're the anesthesiologist and you're like, oh
Yeah,
my
it's a
God,
lot of
I hope I
responsibility.
don't.
Those guys are arrogant. I fought one at my C-section. I got in a bad fight with that guy. Maybe they're not all arrogant, but the one at New York Presbyterian is.
You want
Okay.
you want to name drop?
I mean, the one in my colonoscopy seemed nice.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I guess is that an anesthesia? I guess that's anesthesia. It's not. I'm not sure if propofol is officially anesthesia. Well, it has
Yeah,
to be.
must
Not-
be.
Yeah,
But
right?
you're not out. Like you don't need like a breathing tube.
Is it like local anesthesia?
No.
You're out.
No, you're
out. Like you're out, but you're not out in the way that anesthesia makes you.
Yeah, no, not with this either. Not with
It's
what
a different kind of out.
Yeah.
It's like because I think like
Yeah.
when you're being operated on, it's like you can't breathe or something, or maybe that's a different drug that they
Yeah.
use. But I don't know if it's the same. Whatever.
Oh, I think you're talking about the Michael Jackson drug.
Yeah,
right?
propofol is
Yeah.
anesthetic agent, and
Oh. Oh my goodness! Look at this place. This is
Yes,
the
but is
cellar.
it how is it different than
Depressing the
than
central nervous
anesthesia that would be used, say, in open heart surgery? If you can, if there is a difference, and there may not be, but I'm pretty
we
sure.
veered
there is.
off from the.
Well, that's okay. We can veer.
But it's interesting to think about because what you're saying this isn't the job for you. What would be like? Think about like what would your ideal job be?
Ideally, the job would be nothing.
You really don't want to work? I'm terrified of AI because I love working.
No, I would if I like won the lottery,
Yeah.
I would come here.
Yeah.
And I would do, and I would maybe do a podcast. And
Yeah.
if I won $100 million in the lottery,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or even $5 million in the lottery, I would come here,
Right.
and, and do comedy here, and do the podcast,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't go out on the road.
No. Yeah.
Would you
chance.
do your own TV show? Like, would you write?
Well,
into-
no, because, well,
Well, you always
I
said
mean,
that was the
but
goal.
but you're talking about I have to invest money to make the show.
Yeah, but now you have $100 million.
Yeah.
But I also said if I inherited $5 million, $100 million maybe, but $5 million no.
See, that's all I would spend my money
$5
on.
million, maybe a couple $100,000 in Bitcoin.
Well, how are you going to get it? I'm so confused. Never mind.
How am I going to get the
How am I
$5
gonna
million?
get the
I'm saying the
Bitcoin?
lottery.
No, but I don't know how you get the Bitcoin.
Oh, you go on. Well, there's different ways, but I just have some on Coinbase.
Wait, do you really? Right now?
Yeah, very little, a couple thousand worth, very little.
I can't believe
By the way,
that.
propofol is a drug used to induce and maintain anesthesia, while general anesthesia is a state of controlled unconsciousness achieved through various medications. I'm not
Including
exactly sure.
propofol, along with other
Oh.
drugs and sometimes inhaled gases.
Well, anyway, all right. Let's not get too far down this rabbit hole. We can bring it up next time. But yeah, I do think it. I don't think it's the same type of drug that they would use for, say, open heart surgery. But
It's
not exactly
unbelievable
sure. But anyway-
that even in this hypothetical $5 million, you won't spend it to make a show.
because there's a lot of money to make a show.
But you
But
said,
not 5 million.
Yeah, my goal was to be on TV to make money, but I already got the money.
That's the
I
thing.
thought
I
it was
would
a
make
fun,
show
a
like
relatively
that.
fun way to make a living. But an even better way to make a living was to come here every now, a few times a week,
Yeah.
hang out,
Yeah.
maybe do a podcast, with guests. I'll tell you what, if I'd invested any money, it would be to pay for guests, for guests to come on.
Oh, that's nice.
I have news.
No,
for
because-
Oh, you're gonna be like, no, but it wouldn't be you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if a guest
like
was,
a famous person.
well, people I would want to talk to.
Like
Yeah.
two. Top five.
I mean, I want to talk to Ashley, but
She's already
we
here.
can get her for free.
This
Okay.
is true.
Top five.
Yeah. Who
Well,
are the top
anybody
five?
huge,
Top
I wouldn't have
five.
enough money to get.
Okay.
Oh my
just say
gosh!
it.
Why you?
Well,
just,
Paul
this is a
McCartney's not
fantasy.
going to do this for
Paul
for-
McCartney?
for $2,000.
Paul McCartney.
But
go ahead.
now-
$2,000. That's the max. That's what you're offering.
But like somebody like in a lower range, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, maybe could do it. Maybe would come for a few grand. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I feel like he's busy.
Go ahead. Who else?
Science.
He's not that busy.
Really?
Bullshit. Come on.
I'm not sure. Some of those people I sent you that are like, I'd have to think about that. Okay, so maybe that's not.
You have sent Brooke Shields before. You have
Oh
expressed
my goodness, she's
interest.
so funny.
Yes,
Like
it says Neil deGrasse Tyson in the range of $100,000 to $400,000, but
that's crazy.
but that's speaking.
That's for speaking. So,
But also, have you ever done that? Google how much people think you make. You can do it.
yeah,
It's
and
like
it's much
not-
much higher than.
Yeah, it's like I wish, so I don't know.
You could probably get them for less. But anyway, yeah. So the road is not your ambition. So what is your
No.
ambition?
I mean, I was always wanted a TV. My dream would be to have a TV series and then do stand up in the summers, like on hiatus or.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
and I are similar
Same.
in that
Yes.
regard. Except when I was the difference is when I was starting,
That was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
No,
It's
now
still a thing.
TV shows aren't the thing that they used to be, especially.
You can make a TV show now. That's what's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yes.
Make a TV show? Really?
Yeah.
Who's making a TV
Who-
show?
How do you get?
You can't
the
make a TV. You
revenue?
can make little clips
You can.
and hope to get to make an actual 30-minute show. You can't do that by yourself.
Not by yourself, but like you can make a pilot. You can write a pilot. You can shoot it.
You
can
could always
shop it
write
around.
a pilot. Yes, you could always do those.
I mean, you're not beholden to like these huge studios
you
anymore.
just said you're going to shop it around. Who are you shopping it around to?
producers, executive producers.
Exactly.
I mean, you
but
can
that's
get
not
investors.
doing a show on your own.
Well, I'm saying that like when I was 25 years old and
mean,
I
it's-
moved to Los Angeles to try and work in TV,
Yeah.
like you had no other recourse.
Wait, what years
Yeah,
were you in LA?
Well, then I would be aging myself.
Oh, I was
But I'll
there
t-
too.
I'll tell you.
I
Okay.
think you guys are about the same age, by the way.
Probably. It sucks because I love getting older and I really don't care. And it's like so. I hope one day we look back at this time in history and are like, that was so weird that people
It is
lied
for
about their age.
sure.
Like
Well,
it's so bizarre.
Men don't though.
I
really.
I don't see that happening.
Really?
Yeah, because aging is
Why?
it's a big deal.
But in a good way.
Well-
Until you're in a diaper, and that's different. But like in a good way for the most part,
Until the diaper.
And even then, I don't know. Have you ever had? I was thinking about this today. Have you ever had what do you call it? The thing where you could just pee. When you get a surgery, what's it called? The catheter.
Oh.
It's fantastic. So I don't know.
I never had that.
It's great. I didn't even. I was
Well,
like,
I think it's less fun for guys.
oh, for us, it's fantastic.
Well, look, the
I don't want one, God, but like in a real life, yeah.
the approach of being elderly and dying
Yeah.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you can say age is just a number, but it's
Right.
It's a pretty important one.
But it's weird to be like, oh, I might not get certain jobs. Like it's weird to base our self-worth on something that is inevitable. Like we can't change it.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
My
I
friend's
guess it's
grandma
weird,
is
and in some
105.
societies, well, if I could just finish my thought, in some societies,
By all
it's
means.
less obviously a big deal, I guess. And talking to a Japanese friend recently who said, that in Japan, the elderly are as we've heard, it's not just a myth; they are more revered and
Yeah.
than they are here.
Yeah.
Anyway, your friend, you said, is 100.
No, I think it's a cultural thing for sure. Yes, my friend's grandmother just turned 105.
Wow. Wait, my husband's grandma's 104.
Wow.
Yeah. Where is your friend's grandma?
On the Upper West Side.
Oh, I thought you were going
Is
to
she
say a
living?
blue
Is
zone.
she living alone?
I
Or she
think
has an aide.
I think she lives in like
Assisted living.
Wait,
something like
is she
that.
Puerto Rican?
No, she's
Oh.
Jewish.
Oh, I know a Puerto Rican lady who's that age.
It's
Well,
amazing.
look,
My friend Jacinta. I'm not trying to brag.
I'm not going to live that long, and I'll tell you why.
You don't know. Why?
Because people that live that long have good attitudes. That way you have to, because you're going to lose so many people along the way to
That's
suffer
sad.
those sorts of slings and arrows.
That sucks.
To lose all your, you live till 105, you're going to lose everybody,
I know, that's sad.
and you may tragically even lose people in the generation below you.
Yeah.
Which
That's the worst, I would think.
You have to have so much resilience.
Yeah.
And you to be one of those people that, well, just love life and take every day, and it's a gift. And those are the
Do you
kind of
not
people-
think that?
Of course, I don't think that. You know me better than that.
Yeah, but don't you think stand up gives you kind of a resilience that you have to be pretty resilient in stand up.
Well, I'm not seeing great resilience. I'm seeing a lot of beaten people. Resilience. Was Mitch Hedberg resilient? Greg Giraldo resilient?
Yeah.
But
These are extreme examples.
but like look at Phyllis
there's a lot
Diller.
of
She
people on
did
the edge.
stand up till she was like 90.
Yeah, but
I wanna
I don't
do
think
that.
as a class of people we're the most resilient.
I listen to me. I want to tell you something, and I'm serious right now. You say this, but the truth of the matter is that for the past however many decades, you could have opted to
Yeah.
do something else.
Yeah, because I'm holding on to the dream.
Well, see, that's
that's resilience,
and
right?
as well you should be.
I'm not good with vocabulary, but I think that's resilient.
Well, I guess of a sort. But if you just look at the lifespan of comics, I don't know if we're doing worse than everybody else. We're certainly not doing better, and we're likely doing worse. I mean, I haven't done the math, but
Don Rickles, Mel Brooks.
Yeah, they look funny people. I
Sam
think live.
Kinison.
I think funny people live longer.
Sam Kinison,
How did he-
Andy Kaufman, Ralphie May, Patrice O'Neill,
Well, let's
Todd
get to
Litt,
this decade. Let's get to this decade. What has there been any major?
Brody Stevens.
Oh, that was
Oh,
that was rough. Yeah.
but that do you
I mean,
think
for everyone lived till that went the distance, I could name, So on average, are we better than, cops, for example?
right? That well,
Maybe.
I mean,
And that's another group of people, though, that aren't really, hitting the numbers, longevity-wise.
do you think that we're doing any differently than I don't know, doctors, lawyers, teachers?
I mean, doctors is another profession with a high rate of, suicide.
Yeah.
and mental
Dentists
illness.
have-
Why is it dentist?
I think they just have access to the
The stuff.
stuff.
Oh, you think so?
Well, that's helpful. Like cops have guns, so if you have access to easy access to things that'll kill you. Then,
Well, I mean, everybody has access to like a rope. I mean,
yeah, but yes, that is true. But I think a rope is a little bit more involved.
pills.
Pills don't work.
You don't
A think so? razor
they
blade?
don't work most of the time.
Yeah, that's a gamble. That would be because if you,
You know, in the old days, they give you barbiturates.
Yeah,
they don't
Judy
give
Garland
those out
yourself.
anymore.
Yeah.
Now they give you the benzodiazepines, which if you've seen our dear friend the John Mulaney special, that's what he was struggling with.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take
Benzo.
one
And
pill
those-
of fentanyl and
Yeah.
You have to get your hands on it. I
think they
Tiana,
I think-
what's the highest rate of suicide of any profession?
I mean,
please?
comedy is such a. I don't even know if we're listed because we're not like.
We're listed.
We're not really a profession.
We're not like W4s or 2s or whatever. I don't even know what they're called.
But yeah, I think doctors and speaking of this is relevant. Speaking of suicide, it's looking like the Air India crash might have been a suicide.
No.
You haven't been following? this?
Yesterday I heard something about like it was a button, but I didn't.
All right, let me break it down for you.
Oh, if somebody killed themselves and took out all those people, that's vile. That's horrific.
Well, we can't say for certain whether that's the case.
Why not?
if the
because
guy that
we
lived
don't
is the
know
one
for
that pushed
certain.
the button.
Well, no, he's not. The guy was sitting in the back row. He doesn't have access.
Can
to
you
the-
imagine though? He's like, my bad.
I mean-
The one guy who
Yeah.
survived.
He's like, guys, I have made a mistake. This did not go.
Like that could be true if the engine cutoff switch were right next to seat 13A. But
No, but this is like you're winning the lottery thing. We're just playing. We're just okay. So what happened?
So they found out that the engine cutoff switches were turned off and then turned on. So they cut off the engines. Highest suicide rate construction workers.
wow.
Because they're up high, they
They're
can
up
jump.
high, yeah, they can jump. Farming, fishing, and forestry, installation, maintenance, and repair
It's
work.
literally only the jobs that AI does.
And then medical professions.
Female physicians have suicide rates significantly higher than the general population.
I bet because we have empathy, so we're like, oh gosh, that person died.
Military personnel.
Veterinarians, because they're depressed that they have to be around those
Well,
animals.
if you can find the data on comics.
Oh,
we-
you're right, though. Look what it says. Exposure to animal suffering, wrong hours, and access to
Oh,
legal
gosh.
drugs. That was a good...
Yeah, well,
I
because
would think military would be so much higher.
well, apparently not.
So
Anyway,
the flight, yeah.
Yeah, so there's two engine cutoff switches, one for the left engine, one for the right engine. Normally, you only use those when you're parked at the gate to turn off the engines, or if an engine's on fire, you want to cut the fuel off to the engine.
Yeah.
So one of the pilots apparently switched. The switches, you can't accidentally bump into them and,
It's hard,
and
yeah.
turn them off. So somebody switched them off. And at low altitude, the engines lose thrust. There's not enough time to get them back running before, but those engines don't start up immediately. So when
Oh
you
my
turn them off, to start them up again takes some time. And if you're at 400, 500 feet, there's just no time.
This is
so they
crazy.
found out, they determined that these switches were turned off. They were then turned on, but not in time. So it's possible one pilot turned them off, the other's like, what the fuck are you doing, and turned them back on. It's also possible one pilot turned them off. This is a theory I heard. One pilot turns off the engines, tries to frame the other pilot by saying, because on the cockpit voice reporter, one pilot is saying to the other pilot, why did you turn off the engines? And the other pilot says, I didn't turn them off. So one theory is the pilot turns them off. The pilot that turned them off says to the other pilot, why did you turn off the engines? So this way, people will think it was the other pilot and he won't bring shame to his family. And then he turns them back on, but it's too late.
That's cockamamie, that
Yeah.
theory.
That sounds reasonable.
The second one sounds totally not real.
This is so wild.
I think the second one sounds reasonable, especially because
Okay, listen.
Or what if he said, why did you turn him off? And the guy's like, I didn't because he didn't. What if
but there's no
someone
other
else-
way that those
What if
engines.
the guy in
No, the
13A
saying
snuck
that-
in?
Yeah, the guy in 13A, the seat back is connected to the engines.
Okay,
This is
listen,
crazy.
This might be naive take on like humanity, but I think that if somebody shut
accident.
them off, like it's like a Hail Mary trying to figure out how to save the plane. There
Yeah.
are,
But there was nothing
So-
wrong with the plane. The black box didn't find anything wrong with the plane. The black box covers all the parameters, and it would know if there was something wrong. There was nothing wrong with the plane.
Oh, this
Well,
is
that's
sad.
fucked up.
This is so sad.
And you wouldn't switch the only time you switch off fuel to the engines is if the engine is on fire.
which it
or
wasn't, I'm assuming.
It's not on fire.
Okay.
Or maybe if there's a bird gets into the engine and the parts are flying all over the place, you don't want the engine spinning.
Also, no, that didn't happen.
And there was no bird strike. And it would be very unlikely it would be in both engines. Although that did happen with US Air with Sully. But there were no birds. If you see the video, there's no birds. You can't see any. There's no birds in the video. You can see the video, the whole thing. There's no birds.
Who is also somebody you wanted to get on the show.
Yeah, Sully. Yeah. That's weird. So the second
But why would you do that unless you're like a psychopath
Yeah.
and you have some history of very serious mental illness?
because
like,
it's happened before.
What?
It happened. The Germanwings aircraft crash. There
When-
was an Egypt Air aircraft crash. Because sometimes people slip through the cracks, and you get pilots that have serious problems that slip through the cracks and wind up in the cockpit. It doesn't
Pilots
happen
do
very
seem trouble.
often.
Pilots seem trouble.
There's a lot of alcoholism.
I was going to say they
you know,
always look
as
a
far
little
as I know.
cirrhosis-y of the liver.
okay.
A little.
That's not.
Now, but
little.
in the U.S., the FAA does a pretty good job of screening out pilots that could be problematic, but it can slip through the cracks.
This is so sad.
I
So,
just wait.
now,
You have to be like a psychopath to do. It's not just like
Now, I want to underline that it's not been determined with certitude
Yeah.
that this was a suicide, but it's been determined with certitude that those switches were turned off, and there doesn't seem to be any other way to do it other than for the pilot to turn it off. I suppose it's possible the switches were broken and they hit turbulence and somehow
Okay,
they pumped
that
off. But
seems-
Yeah, I feel like
plausible.
something's going wrong and you're like
Yeah, but
freaking out
that
and
just-
doing weird stuff.
Do you guys think we're gonna solve this? On
No.
this show
not on
right
this
now?
show, no.
No.
If we could get the passenger that survived on,
Oh, that
How much
you
would
should
you
spend.
pay?
Yeah.
How much would you pay to get the surviving India Air passenger on this show?
well, how much do I have?
Oh my god.
That I would
Unlimited. Unlimited.
well, unlimited, then I would give whatever was necessary.
Okay, $5 million. You just won $5 million.
10,000. If I was 100 million, 100,000.
And right now, as you are.
Yeah, 100,000.
No,
If I
no,
wa-
right now, with just in reality, like the amount of money that you have as Dan Naturman right now.
$1,000.
Wow.
I think that's wow. I'm like you're rich. That's I would not. That's great.
Well, but I think it would be, first of all, you'd probably make it back in YouTube ad.
You think
I
so?
think, because he hasn't been interviewed yet.
He hasn't?
Not that I know.
Oh, I thought like the news.
I don't
I
think
thought like
he's been
David Muir and all
interviewed.
that.
No, well, maybe. I guess I would have to do that research.
If he hasn't been, then yeah, you're
If he
right.
has, but I don't think he's been on anything.
Poor thing. He's
And
probably
he
so
lost.
I feel
traumatized.
so bad
He
for
lost
him.
his brother. It's not a.
No, I
it's-
feel so
it's-
bad
It's
for
like
him.
it's.
Unless he's the one who pulled
He's
the.
the one that did it.
And then just ran back to his seat.
Ran back
That's
to his seat.
I don't know. That's a lot of.
We're going to hell.
Yeah. No. Oh God, please.
But
no.
he, Ashley is a Christian. You
I am.
You don't loosely say those things.
I am a Christian. Like she's like gross.
No, not at all. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
Well, if we could just pivot a little bit, because that's a good pivot.
That's a
Unless
good-
you have another question about Air India.
I don't. I think we've tapped out of Air India. I have a thing to bring up that we didn't discuss beforehand. If you'll,
Well, what is it?
it's he's so skeptical. Did you see?
I did want to get into Ashley's Christianity.
Okay, go do that first.
Wait,
Do that-
no,
Oh, what was- what was-
no.
Tell me what you're
I
saying.
wanted if you saw President Trump complimenting the president of Liberia for having such good English.
Oh, I didn't see. Oh gosh, what did he say?
I guess that's what he said. You have good English.
He said.
And he said, "How?"
And it's an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
Well, that's our leader, folks.
That's our guy.
You know, I mean,
What the guy? I gotta Google.
When
it.
I-
What the
Pull it
guy-
up, pull it up.
I gotta see his reaction.
when I was a kid, the president but I've grown accustomed to the presidency just being buffoonery.
Yeah, since Bush.
Since
Yeah.
Bush, so
Yeah.
it doesn't faze me.
And now we're like, can we get Bush back? Like that?
Yeah,
Can we
I
get
mean,
that silly war criminal?
You know,
back?
Bush is like, I mean, Bush said ridiculous shit too.
Yeah.
So, and Biden, you know, was Biden, and so
Yeah, the whole-
The look on this guy's
I want to.
face.
I have to see. I have to see it.
Look,
can we call it up? I mean, if Tiana, if it's not easily accessible. Okay.
we can come back to it if
We can
want
come
it.
back.
If we
to
want
it.
to,
We can get to Ashley's faith.
Oh gosh, this
Some-
is
That's
why-
can we call it? That would be the title of this episode.
Oh no, this is why I don't.
You have to
do.
put on your headphones.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is that Mike Tyson? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
no,
Mike.
I mean, I guess theoretically we should cut that out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people think I'm Lenny Marcus.
What?
I mean, all the time. People think all Jews look alike, apparently. I'm sorry, from a distance, that's... anyway. Well, I don't know if we're getting any information from the video that... I can't hear it.
Me neither.
Okay, well, suffice it to say the president asked Joseph Boakai...
How is there no sound?
He spoke English. Oh man, that's.
And also, we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia. Yeah. We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the
Okay,
United
I don't know if we need to
States
hear all this part.
in peace and security within the region, because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very.
Well, in his defense,
Oh my God.
and only to play devil's advocate, he did have an accent that...
No, he just said, "Were you educated?"
He
Oh,
said,
he-
"Where?" He said, "Where were you educated?"
We said,
didn't
where
he?
were you educated? No, were you educated?
Oh gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. That was terrible.
He did have an accent that didn't scream native Anglophone to me necessarily. You know, I mean,
It's a very generous read.
Ronnie Chang's accent. That doesn't seem like and he's a native English speaker.
Okay, but native English speakers don't have to sound like Americans.
I know, but I'm just trying to defend Trump as best I can. Poorly granted, but as best I can. And in my, as far as thinking that guy looked like somebody other, people think I look like Lenny Marcus.
I don't see that.
You've
at
mentioned
all.
that.
But if you're not Jewish,
Really?
apparently we all look alike.
No.
Because this woman came out of this. It happens all the time.
Are you serious?
And Greg Rogel. All the time.
Greg, I could see more than Lenny, but I can't.
All the time.
Wow.
God.
Yeah, Robert De Niro thought I was Greg Rogel.
What?
He was here because he was here, like they were doing a movie, so he was here, whatever. But after the show, he's like, "Hey, you were funny." I'm like, I wasn't on the show. Happens all the time.
Oh my God.
Why did you tell him that
Was
you
it
were
The
on the
Irishman?
show? Why
Is
did you
that
just
what-
say thank you?
Whatever. No, they were doing a movie about comedy.
Oh. Okay.
Remember that movie he did about comedy? I think.
Oh yes.
Charles
yes.
Grodin was in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just trying to put the best possible spin on it. That he to hear his accent, and if he didn't know any better,
But why
You might
wouldn't
think
you
you-
know any better? That's the point.
That's a valid point.
Yeah,
I
if
have
you're the
no, I have no,
president.
and I have no answer to that question.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
back to Ashley's.
No, because
page.
now I don't like when people bring up Trump and then Christianity because I'm like, no.
Okay, well, we'll keep those separate. Well, should we do traffic and weather? To
No,
separate
do
the
whatever
two?
you want. This is your show. Do whatever you
We
want.
want to separate them. We could talk about the BQE again. Okay, so Ashley is a Christian, which I found out the other night because she was telling me she met her husband
Oh yeah.
online.
Yeah.
And if you want to just recount, you said that being a Christian was one of the.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
like my only deal breaker. That was like the only thing is I needed my husband to be a Christian, to be like a follower of Christ, like the real Christ, like the one in the Bible that's like be loving to refugees and don't judge people, like that one, just to be clear, because I think sometimes there's some loud voices in our world, and that I do not.
Did you grow up Christian?
So I grew up with a very different form of Christianity than I practice. I grew up in a really intense religious upbringing, like
Wow.
so super. Like, you know how there's Orthodox and then
Yeah.
So I grew up like really intense, and then my parents have changed over the years. I, by the grace of God, have had like a lot of. I think my faith is hard won. Like, I think I wasn't just like, oh, I was born this and I stayed this. Like, I think God has brought me through like a lot of things where I'm like, oh, no. I don't believe the way this wasn't just fed to me and I just accepted it, in other words. I don't know if that
Well, so
makes
how
sense.
did you know? Yeah, that's clear. But how did you know your husband? It was Hinge, was it?
It was Hinge, yeah.
How did you? So what on his profile led you to?
Well, first
did
of
he say
all,
explicitly on the profile that he was a believer?
yeah. So first of all, this is how sad we are. Is I wasn't booked one Saturday night, and it was so depressing to me that I was like, I'm gonna online date. Like, I never even wanted a husband. I didn't want to date. I didn't want anything. But I had an open Saturday night, and that's making it sound like I'm like always booked. I'm being. I don't mean to sound that way, but
You can sound that way. It's
No,
okay.
I don't mean to sound that way. But I was so depressed. I was like, I guess I'll get married. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was so crazy. And then, so obviously, like, that was my deal breaker. But I just assumed I would never find like a guy in New York that had, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of weird. And then the only thing in his profile was like any deal breakers, and it said like, if you have a problem with my faith in God. But that sounds aggro. He's not.
What's aggro? What do you mean aggro?
Like
Aggressive.
Like aggressive.
oh, I
It-
thought aggro meant like agriculture.
Yeah. But I think it does. It mean maybe both.
I think it's okay.
But yeah. And so I was like, oh, and let me see. And then I told you why
But faith.
Why? Wait.
If faith in God doesn't necessarily mean Christian, of course.
Right,
It could have been
yeah.
something else.
absolutely, yeah.
Although that
Yeah.
particular phraseology does sound, I don't think a Jew would say that, and I don't think a Muslim would say that. Just that,
No, they probably-
that
you're right,
phraseology sounds Christian to me.
Oh.
I think, but
Oh, I don't know.
in any case, you
Yeah.
took the chance,
Yeah.
and he was Asian, so Jewish was probably not, although possibly,
Possibly,
but probably
probably
not.
not.
And
yeah.
Muslim, well, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
Are
I
there
don't
any
know.
Asian Muslims? I
Of
don't know.
course. I mean, entire countries full of them. Malaysia, for example, Indonesia.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But he wasn't that kind of Asian.
No, he's Korean.
So,
Okay, so
Yeah.
And his, I don't know if you knew that right away.
I did not. I made an idiot of myself trying to figure out what kind of Asian. Like,
Oh, didn't you have a
yeah,
joke
it's all-
about like
I have
what
so
kind,
many jokes
kind
about
of
that.
Asian he
yeah.
was?
But
Oh
just
my
like
God,
trying to
that's
figure out like which
What
one.
was his last name?
Choi. With an I, because if it's with
Oh,
a
that's a
Y, now
tough
I
one.
know
See,
it's
that's
Chinese.
a tough one. Yeah, because
I.
Choi sounds Chinese to me.
Well,
if
with
he
a
had
Y.
said, if he had said, if it was Kim,
I don't know.
no problem.
Is that just Chinese always?
That's always Korean. Always Korean.
I literally threw a Korean. I don't know this.
Kim and Park, I think, is Korean. I think, but Kim for sure.
Really?
I had two Korean roommates.
lot of Kims.
In college, I had two Korean roommates. They were unrelated, and they were both named Kim.
popular
Very,
name.
very common name.
Wow.
It's like the Korean Goldberg.
Oh wow, yeah. And where I'm from in Texas, like everyone is Mexican, so like Rodriguez is like the equivalent. Like Gonzalez and Rodriguez are like Smith and Jones.
Yeah, sure. That would have thrown me. That would have thrown me. I would have said, but
Yeah.
So how did he? Did you didn't ask him straight out what kind of Asian he was, or maybe you did?
No, I wasn't like, what are
I mean, were you
you?
even? Did you even care though?
No,
I mean,
why would I
it's
care?
Not really relevant.
No, why would I care?
Interesting, but
Yeah.
like that's about
You
it.
think it would come up at some point?
It did come up, but I don't even now. I don't even remember.
So you asked him out.
No, I liked his profile, and then this is why I went out with him and kept going out with him because it wasn't like sparks at first, you know. Is he just? I liked his profile, and he wrote, "Would you like to get a cup of coffee?" And because I don't know if you online date, Dan, but
I
women
haven't in a few years.
we don't want to do that. Hey, how?
Yeah.
No, just
Just get to the point. Get to
Yeah,
the point.
you want to
Coffee.
Get
meet.
to the point.
You want to meet.
Yeah, and like that back and forth would drive me nuts. I was like, I don't want to banter on with Like, this is insane.
But you don't want to get to know them online. You want
No.
before you get to know them. In person.
No.
100%. So he was like, would you like to get a cup of coffee? I went to get the cup of coffee. I did not enjoy it.
So you weren't attracted to him initially?
I was physically attracted to him. I was very bored, and then I went to do my show, and like Ian Finance was on it. And can you imagine being like bored and then running into Ian? And you're just like, this is what I need, and we're like manic doing cartwheels. And then I was like, wait, no, like both people can't be like doing cartwheels at home. Like you got
Because he's a serious guy. You're saying
no, he's not. But in the beginning, it takes a long time to get to know him.
Yeah.
And now he's like hilarious. Like he's so fun. But
So he was like one of the first guys, or the first guy, or the only guy that you had like connected
Matched
with.
no, I think I had matched with like 2 other people. And
but he's the only one you've met.
That you met.
no, I met 2 other people,
Okay.
and one of them, I was walking, and he was walking, and we saw each other, and literally just both decided it wasn't right.
Hey, we had some technical difficulties and we lost the last 20 minutes of our discussion with the delightful Ashley Austin Morris. So our apologies to anybody that was digging that discussion, and to Ashley, who was nice enough to come down and talk with us. So we're just going to, fill it in with just me and Periel. We were discussing spiritual matters because Ashley's a Christian, and we're discussing our views of the afterlife. And Ashley is very confident that there's something that comes after death. I am, of course, less confident, to say the least, which probably explains some of my, or most of my, fear of aging and my hypochondriasis. I mean, if I thought that after we died, we'd went someplace cool, would probably not be so concerned with my eating.
Do you think so?
I don't think so, and that's why I'm clinging to life with such cowardice.
Do you think that if you had like a more robust notion of what happens after we die, you would be
Well, if I had a robust notion, and if that notion was that it was something good,
right?
well, then what am I staying around here for? I was
saying that I also do. I do believe that something happens after we die, and that there is another realm, and that if you've lost somebody close to you, and that you've gotten signs from that person, it makes it very difficult to not believe in the afterlife.
Well,
and you started telling an interesting story.
Well, I was saying that when my father was ill, he was cognitively in decline. I would have frequent dreams about him, wherein he was well. In the dream, he all of a sudden regained his lucidity in the dream, and that
It's wild.
since he died, he has not been in my dream life, oddly enough, and I don't know why that is, and that's, I guess, something I might explore with a psychologist or a dream analysis person, if there's such a thing. But I'm not sure why that is. And I also mentioned that I have frequent dreams about Lucian from the comic strip, The Booker, who was an interesting character. He was the guy that decided who would go on stage at the comic strip. He died about 20 years ago,
And you
for
still
some
have
reason,
dreams.
I don't know why he always seems to show up in my dreams. On a regular. I mean, not all the time, but like at least every few months. Hello. He used to talk like, "How are you?" That's how he talked. That's not him in the afterlife. That's how he talked in this life. He would say, and he would always use people's full names. So he'd say, "Well, we have David Attell on the schedule tonight."
Were you close to him?
No, I wasn't. But I for whatever reason, he was an interesting character. I guess I miss. Well, if I had to analyze it,
Yeah.
and I may or may not be correct. I think it was he died in about 2003 or something like that. He 2004 or whatever it was. I think he represents not so much that I was close to him, but I think he represented a fun time, in my life, because I was a beginning, relatively new comic, and and that's an exciting time, I think, when all possibilities are open.
Was it exciting back then too? Were you enjoying it?
Yeah, I mean, there were also moments of angst, but yes, a lot of it I was very enjoyable, and I used to hang out the comic strip a lot back when I was trying to avoid my roommate.
I thought you hung out at Barnes and Nobles.
I did, but I also used to go to the comic strip because it was in my neighborhood, and there'd be people there, and so I would spend, if I was bored of the bookstore or had seen every movie in the theater, I would go over to the comic strip. So and it's possible that it's because he represents a time that, for me, that was, interesting. I don't know. But for whatever reason, he pops up.
I think that if you're open to getting messages from other realms, that you might.
Well, it's a dream. It's like you would say that's a sign. Well, it's
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think that's something, right?
yeah, it's a dream. It means he's part of my mental life. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know that it's a message from the other side.
Well, you don't know that it's not though either.
Well, I know that we dream, and that I don't know why you need a supernatural explanation for something that can be explained without a supernatural explanation, which
I'm
is to
just
say he's
saying
in my mind and he shows up. He shows up in my dreams.
I'm just saying that I think that if you were open to receiving supernatural messages, you
but
might
how do you
be
know? But
surprised.
there's no supernatural. If you said that there was some supernatural. I mean. What messages have you gotten from the other side that don't have a perfectly rational explanation?
I mean, I've had a lot of things happen to me about things, people who I was very close to who passed away. And then, like, I don't know, like just one crazy personal anecdote that I've never been able to make sense of was my grandmother used to give me these quarters that were pretty unusual. They had like I don't remember what they had on the back, but they stopped making them, and she called them Hartzi quarters. Like it was almost like a heart or something. And after she died, like I never really saw one again. And then I was thinking about her a lot one day. I was writing about her, talking about her, and this is like 20 years ago. And I was living in LA, and I went to go park my car, and this was when you would still put quarters in the meter.
Yeah.
And I went to go put the quarter in the meter, and right on the parking meter was sitting one of these quarters. I mean, I don't know, like you can certainly find some way to explain that, right? But you could also explain it that like some universal something, right?
Well, you could, but yes, I suppose you could.
Like what? Why did I pull up to that meter at
Well,
that
it
time?
might well be that your grandmother. You have a lot of associations with your grandmother, and that's the one that popped up. If it like
It's pretty
like
cynical.
oftentimes I think of people and I see them. It's a common experience. You think of somebody
Yeah.
that you haven't seen in years, and
Yeah.
and you see them.
Okay.
So the explanation being that you think of a lot of people. And then when you see someone that you had been thinking, then you remembered having thought of them, but you forget about all the people you thought of that didn't pop up. Well, that's the explanation that I think is the most rational explanation.
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty cynical take.
Well, we don't have we don't have evidence.
Well, we don't need to have evidence of everything to make it be so. Some things can't be explained away by science or rationale or logic. Like some things are. I don't know. I do. I believe.
Well, you're lucky if you can believe that. Because it makes life, I think, a little less frightening if you know that there's something beyond.
Or
beyond
more
all that.
frightening.
Well, if that's something beyond is punishment,
Yeah.
and you've been naughty, then I guess I would be upset.
Well,
upset.
I have been naughty, but I don't necessarily believe in punishment.
Well, look, my only the thing that to me that makes some scientific sense, perhaps, is that we come back in some other body, in another, like our consciousness lives again.
Okay, as like a ladybug.
No, I mean, like maybe as another human being, maybe on another planet as another.
Wait. So if you come back as another human being, do you know that you used to be?
It's just that you don't remember anything from your past life.
Why not?
I don't know that this is true. Well, because I don't remember anything from my past life now. So if we are in fact coming back,
Yeah.
then it stands to reason we wouldn't remember anything from our past lives. It's just that we're reincarnated in some other form of higher consciousness. Like not a ladybug, because a ladybug, as far as we know, doesn't have consciousness. So how would we come back as a ladybug?
So it's our essence.
But this
or
is
our
just that we're. It's not even our essence. It's just that we're your sense of being you. That
Okay, but that's what makes you, right? You're sentient.
I don't know what
being you.
you're asking me. The greatest mysteries of the universe,
We're gonna
human
solve
consciousness. I don't know, and I just think that's a possibility.
I mean,
I don't even think it's a probability. I think it's a possibility because we came into existence once, so we know that can happen.
Yeah.
So why can't it happen again?
It can.
In other words, I came into existence in if you want to date it from 1969 when I was born, or I would say I came into existence in 1971 or 2, because that's when I first became aware and conscious. I don't think
Okay.
you really exist prior to your own self-awareness.
That's interesting.
So, which for me, I guess would be about, I don't know. I have vague memories in a crib, and
You do?
70,
Wow.
very vague. But I slept in a crib till I was 19. But I have very vague memories that might date to 71 or 70. 72, I'm pretty sure I have memories of 72. And 73, absolutely. But 72.
wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
72,
like clear,
maybe.
really clear memories.
Vague memories of 72. Starting to get to 73, starting to get a little more clear. 74. We took a trip to St. Thomas in 1974, and I have very clear memories because that's my first time on an airplane.
Wow.
Clear memories of getting to the airport at very early in the morning, because I guess that's when the cheap flights are. I still fly oftentimes very early in the morning. And but I remember, though, it was early morning, and I remember getting to Kennedy and seeing the aircraft, and so I have that memory.
And so what? You were like 5?
I was about 4.
My math
About 4.
is
It was after the
great.
ice storm of 1973 or 4.
Wow.
And my mother said, "Fuck it, we're going to the Caribbean."
She said that?
I mean, she didn't use those words.
Okay.
I don't think. Anyway, so we were discussing that with Ashley, and
What else were we discussing? Also, the Air India.
Yeah, but we got that.
We got that?
We have that, right, Tana? Yeah. So Tana wants to hear about our thoughts on the R word, retarded. Because not everybody knows what the R word means. And it's come back.
I don't know what that means.
What do you mean you don't know what that means?
Like, what does that mean? It's come back. Like,
People are using it now fairly liberally, at least in certain circles. Rogan uses it and his crew, but just more generally, I see it on Twitter a lot. I saw what's her name, Claire Lehman from Quillette,
Okay.
use it recently.
What did
And
she
Melissa
say?
Chen, who's has a big Twitter following. I don't remember precisely what she said.
No, but like, are they saying?
They're saying, "Oh, this is retarded," or "America's become retarded," and so not everybody's down with the return of this word.
What do you think?
Well, look, it's hard for me to judge. I don't use it.
Why don't you use
I
it?
don't use it because I spent years not using it because out of respect for people that are mentally challenged. But you could make the argument that words like idiot and imbecile also once applied to these were once scientific words that applied to the mentally handicapped and became just terms we use, for somebody who's not intelligent. So who am I to judge that the R word is bad, but these other words are okay? Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about it. But I don't use it anyway because it's trendy, and I don't like doing things because they're trendy. I mean, within reason, but...
like you would wear tight jeans if they were trending.
No, I probably wouldn't do that. But I don't like I try to avoid linguistic trends as best as I can, but sometimes they slip into your vocabulary. But that's how language is. We kind of, So like the really, that's something that I don't think we had 10 years ago. Really?
Yep.
I don't remember that 10 years ago.
I would say something sometimes, and you guys would get mad at me. Oh, gaslighting. You didn't like.
Yeah,
it.
I don't like that word because I don't think it's typically even used correct. If it brought something to the table, and it kind of does, because it kind of means something more specific than simply lying. Gaslighting means you try to convince the other person that they're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're using it like that, fine, but people don't use it like that. They just throw it out. Anytime somebody's saying something untruthful, they'll say, "Oh, he's gaslighting."
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to use it for that because it doesn't add anything new to the table, and it's trendy. I don't want to use it. Again, shit slips into my vocabulary, but I'm fairly conscious of words that have become trendy, and I try to avoid them. Unpack.
Yeah.
I don't unpack this shit unless I'm coming back from a cruise.
Then you're gonna.
And I'm going to unpack, but I don't unpack in that sense.
You also conflate.
I don't
You
conflate.
get mad. You
I
get
don't
mad
conflate.
when I
don't-
say that.
I don't use conflate. So
But I mean, there are clear definitions to these words.
I'll
You
just
don't-
say lump together. I mean, if I can avoid conflate, I'll avoid it.
just because it's like trending.
Just because it's trendy. But if I feel it's absolutely necessary, I'm not against using a word that brings something to the table.
Right. I don't.
But
like,
with our word that brings nothing to the table except I'm cool because I use this word.
right. Like,
and so does all these other people.
And like it feels like edgy.
It
to
feels
use
like
it.
cool, like
Yeah.
you're part of the cool crowd.
And I don't. I don't.
I'm
like-
not judging people that do, but I'm not doing it.
I don't know. It just sounds. I don't mind any of those other words, although I do appreciate your point. I just feel like it feels a little bit mean. So
Yes, because
like,
it feels mean because
So I don't.
because for so long it was a taboo word. And maybe it feels mean because we remember a time when retarded was a word that was used for the mentally handicapped, for people that were, yeah. And so we associate that word with people that are mentally handicapped. We don't want to use a word
right.
in a disparaging way.
Yeah.
That we remember from our childhood. I mean,
Right.
maybe you don't, but
No, I
as
do.
a
I do.
kid, that was the word that was used.
Yeah.
Mentally retarded.
Yeah.
That was a word
But
that was
you're
a perfectly appropriate word to use for somebody that was mentally handicapped. But it's not anymore. But
So now it's just used as like.
now it's just used as like
slur.
stupid.
It's like
it's
a
just used as to mean stupid, dumb, idiotic, whatever.
Well, so I think the problem is that people who are mentally challenged in some way or have some sort of intellectual disability, if you will, are not necessarily stupid at all. Some of them can be very intelligent. I think that's why people sort
Well,
of rejected using it.
I
right?
don't know. I
like
don't
people used to call people with autism that, right?
Yeah.
And
well,
some of
they
those
probably
people are brilliant.
mistakenly thought that they had an IQ deficit.
Right.
But that just word fell out of favor, as sometimes words do. You used to say colored people. That was a perfectly normal and natural way to refer to African Americans, and that became, you wouldn't say it anymore. Mm-hmm. So words go
I don't
through these
love it.
transitions, and
I mean-
I don't make the rules, but but a word comes to a word becomes, it starts to, take on like a bad connotation and whatever. I'm not gonna anyway. But my main beef with it is that it's one of these trendy words that everybody says.
Yeah.
I said to Claire Lehman on Twitter, I said, okay, I know the word is back, but why are you jumping on the bandwagon?
What did she
She didn't
say?
say nothing.
I don't know who that is.
She's a journalist.
Okay.
I mean, but anyway, so that's how I feel about that word. Tiana, does that answer your curiosity? Yeah. Okay. Because Tiana had a special requested. We got a request.
Look, I don't particularly care that much. I do agree with you that I think I don't love this like, oh, I'm so edgy thing. Like I don't, but because you stopped using it when it was like really taboo, but now that it's okay, you're starting again. Like if you had kept using it that whole time, I think I'd have
maybe
more
Claire,
respect
by the way, maybe it's
for
possible.
you.
It's possible Claire Lehman kept using it the whole time.
Well,
I don't know. But I tend to think she probably did not.
Okay, well, I don't even know who that is. So
Well, she's a fairly well-known journalist
Okay.
with a fairly large Twitter following.
that's
I think.
I'm sure she.
But anyway, that's
I'm
not the
just
point.
saying,
The point is
like-
these people are using it, and I just don't like the trendy aspect of it. But I think we've covered that topic
Okay.
fairly thoroughly.
Okay. Ashley,
Hot as fuck.
you want to turn on the AC?
What was the AC was on before?
It was,
Yeah,
but
okay.
then can you turn it on from where you are?
Well, if it's a big deal, we don't have too much
Okay.
left. I don't think.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's
It's hot.
insanely hot.
I know, but it's also like that's not the most pleasant thing, but it's fine. Okay. I also mentioned after Ashley left that you seem to have a knack for picking really good guests.
I've had some clunkers, but I think my batting average is reasonably good. Well, I also know who I can speak with, and be relaxed and be myself. I know Ashley
Okay.
because she's been working here,
Yeah.
and we have a good rapport. So that's a lot of it. If I have a good rapport with somebody, then that's going to go a long way.
But what if you have no rapport with somebody?
Well, then that's not going to make for very good conversation.
Well, you don't. But I don't know if you just don't know somebody at all.
Well, if I don't know them at all, then then I guess you'll see. But in the case of Ashley, I know that we have a good rapport. So
Well, I thought
that-
she was great.
But she's she's very nice.
Yes.
Um,
And funny. She had suggested that you go on a spiritual journey, and we tried to unpack that a little
we did
bit.
try to unpack it because I have some cruises coming up, which we've discussed in previous episodes, which I don't want to go on, but that's.
But you're happy for the work?
Well, it's work anyway. And she suggested going on a spiritual journey. I don't know what she meant by that. We didn't really, she didn't clarify it necessarily.
Well,
So I don't know. I don't really know what she meant. But
you know what I would say, but you'd get mad at me
What
for
was that?
saying you've gotten mad at me in the past when I've suggested this.
what? Meditation?
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for anyone. That's the point of figuring out how to do it. That's the first thing that the Tibetan
Look,
and the
the-
Buddhist
well,
monks tell you
Look,
is that it doesn't work
best,
for you.
Well, okay. The best thing for me would be to not do these cruises. Now I got to figure out how to do that. I got to figure that out. I'm working on a script. I can't reveal what it's about with Kyle Dunnigan.
Yes, you mentioned that.
We're not going to discuss the plot,
Okay.
but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that something can happen with it.
Yeah.
Whether we option it or what have you.
Well, that's exciting.
Well, it's not exciting yet.
Well, first of all, the fact that you get to sit down, I don't know, every day or 3 times a week with one of your very close friends who, by all accounts, is a pretty brilliant comic and write is exciting. That's amazing. Most people on planet Earth don't get to do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so.
Okay. And he makes you laugh, I'm sure.
Yeah. He did a McCartney impression. That's always never fails to do the job. But we'll see. Is all I can say. So,
I mean, you said that if you got $100 million, and what would you do? Well, you would you would still do a podcast, and you would still do stand up.
I think, did we discuss? Is this part of the stuff that didn't get cut off, or Tiana? Yeah, you talked about that.
No, I'm just saying. But so you would still do.
Well, I'm not
the
going to get
thing-
$100 million for a script. That's for sure.
Well, how much did Squid Games make?
Well, Squid Games made a lot of money. I don't know what Squid Games made because it was on Netflix, and Netflix is a subscription thing. So I guess you can make money merchandising, but they don't pay screenwriters that kind of money.
But do you know how many times that guy got told that script was absolute garbage and nobody wanted to touch it and it would
Okay.
never be successful?
That may or may not be, but he didn't make $100 million.
Well, how much did he make?
Nobody makes that kind of money for a script. If you own the show, you can make a lot of money. I mean,
did you ever see
Seinfeld
that?
owned Seinfeld. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But the writers on Seinfeld, were made, I don't know what they made, 10 grand a week, 20 grand a week. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Not
but
bad. I
no,
mean,
but they
not-
didn't make $100 million.
Netflix paid an estimated $21.4 million for the first season of Squid Game, and the 9 episodes have impact value of $891.1 million. That's
Well,
insane.
Yes, and that money probably goes to Netflix because they bought it for $21.4
I'm
million.
sure he's doing just fine.
Okay, but you said $100 million.
Okay, well, I mean, really, don't be so specific about it. Did you,
You
see that?
make to sell a screenplay, you probably make $100,000. I would assume something like that.
If you sell the screenplay,
If you sell it.
but then if you make the film, you
Yeah, but you don't own the film unless you pay for the film. You don't own it.
So what do you get?
You ain't get shit. You got your name at the end that says written by, and then hopefully now you become a name, and then you get other work, or maybe you negotiate. You negotiate a percentage of it, but if
So you're telling me if you
you're a
write-
real big shot.
If
and
you-
you're a big time writer, you might say, "Well, I wanted 1% or with
Yeah,
half
I mean,
a
don't
percent
you
of-
get an executive producer credit?
I don't know what the hell you get. I've never fucking sold a screenplay. You want to tell me? I'll tell you all about how the cruise business works. We get $3 grand a week. and all the food you can stuff in your throat. Actually, it's up to 3,500, but anyway.
Well, it's
And
good work if you can get it, huh?
It's okay. It's okay, you know.
So you write the script, you sell the script.
Ideally, yeah. But the idea would be that if you now you have a little bit of clout.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the script if it's produced and if it's a hit, and there's there's a lot of ifs, then I guess you got some clout and you can say, hey, you know, hire me to write another script. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how it works. I know on the cruise, if you do a good job, they invite you back for another cruise. Now you go to Alaska.
Where do you go before you go to Alaska?
Well, I don't know. I started off in the Caribbean. And
Well, the Caribbean seems like a step up from Alaska.
Alaska's cool. Alaska.
You said it was like going to New Brunswick.
I said that about Halifax,
Oh,
Nova Scotia.
yeah. Fair.
It looked like New Brunswick, New Jersey to me. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sure there's interesting shit there, but I saw New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Oh my God. Noam's in Alaska right now.
Yeah, he's on a
Speaking of
cruise.
Alaska,
Yeah, Alaska's cool. It
That,
was
that
really
I saw
cool.
some pretty cool pictures.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Well, I was writing with Kyle yesterday, and he said, you know, and he's a lot more like, in terms of AI, he thinks we're all getting replaced like in 5 years.
Okay.
He's like, this could be the last script ever written by humans. We'll make history as the last human beings to ever write a script. He was joking about that, but then he played me some AI music.
Yeah.
It was apparently written and performed by AI, and it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Band called Velvet Sundown. Now, look, maybe it was written by people and they just, for publicity. I don't know that it was really written by AI and performed by AI, but it's called Dust on the Wind by the Velvet Sundown.
And this is not
I don't know
like
if
a
you wanna
real
play-
band.
if we
It's
can
not
play-
like a real.
Apparently, it's all AI. Everything is AI. The instruments, the voices, and the writing of the music. Now, maybe that may not be true, but this is what they say. And it was pretty good. It's not my favorite song, but I kind of liked it, and it sounded like a real. Tiana, is there any way you can play it? I don't know if we can do that on the fly. It's called "Dust on the Wind" by the Velvet Sundown.
It's a tall order. We're lucky we're still recording.
Okay, well, if you can't, you can't. That's fine. But I would say listen to it, people out there, and I think it's a pretty good song, especially. Okay, so
First
can
of
we?
all, the font. I mean, okay. I mean,
Well, the font
The font
sucks.
is horrible.
Okay,
The,
but
no,
listen-
no. I mean, 1 second. I want to like.
Well, we have to get through this commercial first, but this.
I mean, the design is terrible for anybody who's
Well,
just
but
listening.
that's true.
I mean, it's just god awful.
Well, all right, you're not wrong there, but just if you could just all right, hit play when you can. All right. It takes a few seconds to get cooking. This part's not amazing, but not amazing.
Dust on the wind, boots on the ground, smoke in the sky, no peace found. Rivers run red, the drums roll slow. Tell me, brother, where do we go? Raise your hand, don't look away, sing out loud, make 'em pay.
Okay.
Okay, we have enough.
March for peace.
All right.
I mean, I'm biased. Like I can't give like an objective.
You're biased against computers.
No, I just like.
Well,
It's just like there's so much great music out there and so many talented people. Why do I have to listen to this?
You don't have to, but this is what's coming. So, like it or not. So, you know, is that
Like, I'm trying
that's
to-
my favorite song? No, I thought it was pretty good. And assuming this is true, the words, the music, the instruments, and the voice are all AI.
So what I'm.
Well, that's pretty fucking, I think, impressive.
I mean, if I'm.
And maybe in another few years, you will get Let It Be or Bohemian Rhapsody or something of that quality. Who knows?
would you rather get it from a person, or are you indifferent to the source?
I'm not indifferent to the source.
Okay.
I find it upsetting.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I'm not. I mean, I'm trying to be objective and say, well, if Dan just played that for me and told me that there's this like cool new band or some young new musician, what would I say about that? And I will admit that I think my reaction would be different than it is to knowing or thinking that it was made by a machine. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, I agree. It's not bad. It's, I might even say like, it's great if you gave me another source, but I think that I'm not interested in listening to that music. Like, I'd rather listen to something real.
Yeah, well, I get that. But, I bet,
the same way that like, I don't want to fuck a robot. Like, maybe you could have
that's
like,
where we part ways. I'm happy to fuck a robot if the robot's if it's sufficiently attractive.
well, you can do that.
Well, but,
Like, you
but
can-
if a robot looked like, I'm not gonna fuck a robot that looks like a robot.
No, they have these real.
No, but they're not real. I'm saying if a robot could mimic a woman 100%, yes, a woman would be preferable.
Okay, so you're
I
saying,
guess, so.
I guess.
Well, you never know. If the woman, I mean, sometimes
I mean, the
you
robot.
might want something that if you're not if you're with a woman that you don't like, that you want sex from, then
Yeah.
a robot would probably be a better option.
So that's what I'm saying. There are these real dolls that people buy. They're like $100,000.
I've seen them, and they're not humans. They don't, and they just lie there.
Well,
I'm saying if you could replicate a human such that it was visually the same thing, then I would not object to sex with such a.
what do you mean
product.
that? So it looked and it acted like a person?
Yes, if it looked like it acted like, but except you could turn it off.
I'll bet my husband would like that.
Well, I mean, probably at times. He would. Maybe not all the time, but I'm sure moments. We did a show together, Periel. It's not often that we work together outside of the context of the podcast, but we did a show together that you produced at the West Side Comedy Club. We can mention it's okay. We can mention another comedy club.
We can?
Yeah, because Noam's not threatened by any other comedy. Noam's got a fucking empire here. He's got fucking opening up the new McDonald's room there.
The Menachem Dorman Comedy Theater. That was so fun.
It was a very good crowd.
It was really
It
fun.
was a very good crowd. It was were they all people you knew?
No?
But for some reason, it was all Jewish. So I thought maybe it was all people that you knew.
Well, maybe that's the sort of crowd that.
Maybe. Because it was the most Jewish show, as I remarked on stage, the most Jewish show I've ever done that wasn't explicitly billed as a Jewish show. That wasn't called like Mutz or Bagels and Comedy or something like that. And then I jokingly said, I said on stage, this is the most Jewish show that didn't have a name like Bagels and Comedy or Modi Live. And everybody laughed. So if everybody laughed, that means everybody knows who Modi is.
Well,
and if everybody knows who Modi is, that means they're all Jews.
No, Modi's audience is not all Jewish.
Not all, but that's a big part of his thing. And that's a big part of his thing. And they know, anyway.
So first of all,
yeah, it was a good show, and Periel, you did very, very well.
Thank you.
Very, very well.
I take that as a big compliment coming from you.
It's just reality. You did well. The audience was laughing.
Thank you.
You had some good stuff. Although I don't love your joke about your hemorrhoid. I don't like it. What can I tell you? I
Now
don't like to hear about your hemorrhoid.
Well,
sorry. And maybe that's sexist of me because women are human beings.
It's not maybe. It's sexist. It's definitely sexist.
I don't know that I'd like it. I don't know if a tell would. If it was a tell, it'd probably be funny though, because it's a tell. A tell having hemorrhoid is, but
everybody
I guess
gets
if it's a woman,
you don't.
Yeah,
like,
I guess I don't like it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess so. I guess.
And
so.
you were amazing, and everybody loved you, and you did just the amount of time before you get stressed out, right?
Yeah, and also in the city, I'm less stressed out anyway.
And also, you've said that when you do shows with me, you're generally less stressed out.
Did I say that? Or did you say that? And
no, you said
remember it as me saying that. I don't remember.
Is that not true?
Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah, maybe I said it because, it's if I, with people, that's the beauty of working in the city is A, you're doing less time. B, you're working with people you know. You go on a cruise ship, you don't know anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you work a lot of cruise ships all the time and you see the same, because then you know the cruise director, the staff and all the other people, but
So do
there's
you-
no one there that you know. You're there by yourself, and so it feels almost adversarial in a way because it's like they don't have your back. I mean, if the audience complains, they're not going to take your side.
You're saying that
When they write out at the end of the cruise, the Dan Naturman sucked. Well, no one's going to. That's.
you're saying it's nice to perform when you know that you have people rooting for you.
Yeah. I mean, they're rooting for you because they want the audience to have a good show. In that sense, they're rooting for you. But they're going to take their side. They're going to take the audience side. If there's he was offensive or we didn't think he was funny.
You like seeing familiar faces in the audience?
Not in the
some people
audience,
don't-
no.
some
But
people-
I like to be working with people that I know. So you're somebody that I know, and we're working together. And Olga Namer, who was also on the show.
I think she's so
Yeah,
funny.
very funny. Very, very funny.
She's dirty.
Very, very.
Dirtier than I am.
Yes, but no hemorrhoids.
Yet.
No hemorrhoids interact in life. I don't know.
All right. Well,
Anyway, we're here to fill in the time.
don't say that. I mean, I give people like a nice 15, 20-minute thing. We tried to salvage. There was a
Yeah,
mistake. And don't just
you
then
know.
kill it and say we tried to fill in the time.
You know me. But, again, I'm apologies to Ashley. I'll have to apologize to her in person. But, I mean, she came down here, and that's too bad that we lost that time. But sometimes technical issues arise. That's computers for you.
So questions.
But we got a lot. Well, we got a lot of good stuff from her. Questions, comments, and suggestions. And Noam's back next week, so we're going to go full tilt. We got Omer Bartov who's going to discuss: is there a genocide in Gaza? So a bit different than the show that we did today. But in any case, and Susie Weiss is coming on.
Yeah.
So Noam is coming back. So So that's that. So,
I have one more thing.
okay, yeah.
Did you see that Mandy Patinkin thing?
Oh,
Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know much about it. He said, what did he say? There's a genocide going on?
No. I mean, he said that it's Netanyahu's fault that Jews are unsafe all around the world. And I just want to go on record here and say that is the biggest fucking crock of shit. It's like you can hate the leaders of any country you want, right? That you disagree with what they're doing. You think they're doing terrible things, whatever the case may be. I have not seen any group of people being lambasted and persecuted around the world from countries with terrible leaders as you have Jews, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very hesitant as a general matter to blame, Jews for anti-Semitism, blacks for racism, gays for homophobia, etc. That said, yes, some hatred of Jews is because of Israel's actions. And that's
Then
just
how
an
come there
objective
isn't?
fact.
No. I think that I reject that.
well, hold on. I'm not saying that it's justified. I'm saying that that's what it is.
I'm calling bullshit.
I'm saying
though.
if Israel didn't exist,
we'd all be dead.
some level. Well, I don't believe that's true.
Well,
If some level of what we're there, there certainly wouldn't be anti-Zionism if Israel didn't exist.
well,
Which is,
maybe
if black
we'd
people
be-
didn't exist, there wouldn't be racism against blacks. That doesn't mean that that's a justification. It's just a fact. So if Israel didn't exist, there would be no anti-Zionism, obviously. And anti-Zionism spilling into anti-Semitism, yes, that happens. So sure. I mean, I guess if Israel just decided to lay down its arms and die, yeah, some amount of anti-Jewish actions wouldn't be taking place. That being said, as I said, if every Catholic converted to Protestantism, there would have been no anti-Catholic bias, back when that was a thing. So, yeah, but, you had to be very careful because, that doesn't justify anti-Catholic bias. It's just a fact that if there were no Catholics, there'd be no anti-Catholic bias. So,
Well, I
boom.
think
if
that
there's no Israel, there's no anti-Zionism. And if there's no anti-Zionism, there's no anti-Zionism spilling into anti-Semitism.
Okay, well, I am
It doesn't mean that
calling bullshit. I
all
think
right.
people would still
Of course,
hate
but
Jews.
some amount of Jew hatred wouldn't. Maybe there'd be other Jew hatred. They'd blame us for whatever else. But
I mean, do you know the
to
horrors?
some extent, some number of people that have committed anti-Jewish acts wouldn't have done so if there were no Israel, or if Netanyahu just surrendered, or
I mean,
whatever.
maybe, but maybe. My point is more that, like, the leader of Sudan has done horrible things, and you don't see people running in the streets, putting up encampments,
That's
and
right.
hating the Sudanese people and the leaders of Myanmar
Yes.
and Ethiopia, and I mean, the list goes on and on.
Okay, well, for whatever reason, for numerous reasons, they do that about Israel for various reasons.
or for one.
Well, I think it's more than one reason.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
think
one.
there's a
If there's one thing
combination
in
of-
common,
I think
right?
there's a combination of anti-Semitism that was there anyway. I think it's also the perception, incorrect, that Jews are white and Palestinians are brown.
ridiculous.
I think it's the fact that we're talking about the Holy Land, which has a great deal of meaning to a great many people, and it's hard to talk about that area of the world without passions, becoming heightened.
I'm
And I think that so I think those are the main reasons.
I am saying that you can hate Netanyahu and be critical of Netanyahu and think he's terrible, and there is not one other example that you can give of any other ruler that people feel that way about, and then that sentiment spills over to the people who are from that country. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably correct. But as far as Pantinkin saying that, what did he say again?
You want me to read you exactly?
No,
you get that.
All right, whatever. I think that was a dumb thing to say, but I'm just trying to analyze. If no one were here, he would snap at me.
Well,
That's what he does. He snaps at me, if I don't agree with him. So, anyway, I like to analyze every nook and cranny of it.
you can analyze it. I mean, that's fine.
Doesn't mean that I'm saying that that I agree with what Pantinkin was saying.
Why are you pronouncing his name like that?
Well, isn't that Pantinkin?
I don't know. I thought it was Patinkin.
I don't know. Yeah, you just said what I said, Pantinkin.
No, Patinkin.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, whatever. It was
He's
so
a very talented actor. That
fucking
that being said.
sanctimonious. It was just outrageous.
Look, yes, yeah, I guess so. But there's,
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you all for listening. And
I have podcast at comedycellar.com, and we'll see you next time with Noam. Bye bye.
bye.